Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Diabetic Toolbox, where we are on a mission to end type 2 diabetes one family at a time through education, support, and empowerment. If this is our first time meeting, my name is Renee. I am an emotional eating and diabetes lifestyle coach and yoga teacher, and I help folks over 40 who have been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes to lower their blood sugar, lose weight, and move with more ease without spending hours a day in the gym or giving up everything they enjoy. Today, we are kicking off a brand new 5-part series called The Men's Diabetes Blueprint. And this first episode is what I would consider the foundation. We are talking about the numbers that every man needs to know. Now, before we get started, I want to explain a little bit about why this topic is so important to me. I lost both my dad and my younger brother David to heart disease. And when you experience that kind of loss, it changes how you see everything. You start replaying moments, wondering what signs were missed, what conversations didn't happen, and what could I have done differently sooner. This is a big part of why I do this work, because so many men are walking around right now without really knowing what is going on inside their bodies. They are pushing through fatigue, ignoring weight gain, dismissing changes in their energy, their focus, even their performance. And a lot of times they are not going to the doctor regularly. This was definitely the case with my dad and my brother. So, if you are a man over 40 or you love and support a man over 40, this series is the one you want to stay connected to for the next 5 days. So the real issue is when you don't know your numbers, you're literally just guessing. And guessing when it comes to your health can get expensive in ways that have nothing to do with money. Here's the truth. Conditions like high blood sugar, high blood pressure, and unhealthy cholesterol levels do not always come with loud warning signs. They can develop quietly and build over time. And by the time you really start to notice, something serious is happening, like a heart attack or a diabetes diagnosis. But the thing you have to remember is that your numbers have been off for years. Your body does try to get your attention, but it does so in subtle ways. So you may have been experiencing low energy, trouble losing weight, especially around the midsection, feeling sluggish after meals. Maybe you've even been dealing with erectile dysfunction. And this is important because ED is often treated like its own separate issue. But many times it is an early sign of blood vessel damage, which means it is connected to heart health, which also means that it is connected to blood sugar and diabetes. These things are not separate. They are all part of the same story. And we're going to talk more about ED tomorrow, so stay tuned. So let's break down the key numbers that every man should know. First, your blood sugar numbers. Now, I have to admit that I did not know my blood sugar numbers when I went to the doctor back in 2017 and was diagnosed with prediabetes. Before that, if I went for my annual checkup and my doctor said everything looks good, I didn't pry. But your blood sugar numbers include something called your A1C, your fasting glucose, and your post-meal readings. Your A1C gives you an average of your blood sugar over about 3 months. It's like a big picture overview. Your fasting glucose tells you what your blood sugar is doing after you have not eaten for several hours. And that is usually taken first thing in the morning if you are doing your blood sugar readings. And your post-meal numbers show how your body has responded to the meal that you've eaten. That one is huge because it gives you real-life feedback about how your meals are affecting you. The next number that you need to know is your blood pressure and cholesterol. These are often called the silent killers for a reason. You can feel completely fine and still have levels that are putting serious strain on your heart and your blood vessels. And again, this ties back to circulation, which ties back into heart health, which ties back into sexual health. And then the number you need to be wary of is your waist circumference. This is the one a lot of people overlook, but it matters more than you think because carrying excess weight around your midsection is strongly linked to something called visceral fat. That is the fat stored deep around your organs, and it is one of the strongest predictors of insulin resistance and future diabetes risk. In the United States, nearly 40% of men are living with obesity, and many do not realize how closely that connects to what is happening with their blood sugar. When you start to understand these numbers, something will begin to shift. You will move from reacting to problems to actually seeing what is coming and giving yourself the chance to do something about it. That's a powerful place to be. To be proactive instead of reactive about your health. So, this is your invitation. If you are listening to this and realizing you do not know your numbers, schedule the appointment. Ask for the labs. Have a conversation with your primary care physician or your medical team. Because knowing your numbers is not about living in fear or being afraid to find out what they are. It is about being aware and taking ownership about your health. It's about giving yourself the information you need to take care of your body in a real and intentional way. Now, if you've been listening to this and thinking, okay, this makes sense, but I still do not know how to actually make myself feel better day to day, that is completely normal. Because knowing what to do and actually doing it, especially when you're dealing with cravings, habits, and a busy life, that is where most people feel stuck. And that is why I created my 4-week emotional eating and blood sugar reset coaching program. If you are over 40 and you're tired of trying to figure out what to eat, you're tired of dealing with cravings or watching your blood sugar stay higher than you would like it to be, join me, because I will walk you step by step through a simple, realistic plan that will fit into your real life. This is about helping you lower your numbers, lose weight, and feel more in control without extreme dieting or starting over every Monday. You can check out the program and join us by clicking the link in the show notes. So as we wrap up today, our first day of the series, I want to leave you with this. Awareness is where everything begins. Before any changes with food, movement, or habits, there has to be a moment in your life where you decide to look at what is really going on and stop guessing. When you understand that story, you have the ability to change, and it's a beautiful thing. I have seen it. When someone understands how movement, mindset, and food and support help them to make changes in their health, and those changes ripple through the rest of their life. So that's all I have for you today, my friend. Join me tomorrow when we will be talking about diabetes and erectile dysfunction, the wake-up call most men ignore. Please share this episode with someone you love who may be struggling with their blood sugar too. It might be the conversation that opens the door for them to get help. I will talk to you tomorrow, my friend. Have a beautiful day. Take care of yourself and each other. Bye for now.